Welcome back to this episode of Miss Max Academy. Today we're going to learn how to make appropriate scatter plots. So just a reminder from our last video, we learned that scatter plots help us understand the relationship or association between two variables. We also learned that the x variable predicts the y variable. X is our independent variable and y is our dependent variable. So just remember that as we go through this exercise. So let's take a look at our prompt. Nate wants to predict how long people use the internet each day based on their age. The table below shows the age in years and the average daily internet usage in hours for a sample of people. So my question is, does your age predict the amount of hours you spend on the internet, or does the number of hours you spend on the internet predict your age? Let me say that again. Does your age predict the number of hours you spend on the internet, or does the number of hours spent on the internet predict age? Well, clearly, age is our x variable. This is going to be our independent variable. Our age, in this case, we're trying to see, is there an association between how old you are and how many hours you spend on the internet? So x predicts y. Okay, so just a reminder, keep that in mind, x predicts y. That's our fundamental principle. So this prompt goes on to tell us all of the scatter plots below display the data correctly, but which of them displays the data the best? In the last video, we learned that our x variable should be along the horizontal axis. So when we take a look here, age should be along the horizontal axis. So that means when we take a look at graph A is a possibility. Graph B is a possibility. Graph C, although the data might be plotted correctly, it's really not a possibility because internet usage does not predict how old you are. So C is not a possibility. We're going to cross that off. D is also not a possibility because again, the predictor is not on the horizontal axis. So now we're down to graph A or graph B. So let's take a look at the labels on our axes. Okay, on our x-axis here, it looks like we are labeled by, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It looks like our age in years is labeled like every 5 years. And when you take a look at graph B, age in years is labeled every 50 years. Well, I don't think that makes much sense. The average human doesn't live to 100. And certainly, I'm not even sure if there's ever been a person who's lived to 150. So again, although graph B might display the data correctly, it's not the best representation of the graph. So the correct answer for this prompt, it says choose one answer. Which one displays the data the best would be graph A. Tune in again for the next episode of Miss Max Academy.